What if Mars was once a world with flowing water, a thick atmosphere, and conditions that might have supported life, only to become the cold, barren planet we see today? How did that transformation begin, and how did Mars actually form? The story starts over 4.5 billion years ago in a rotating cloud of gas and dust known as the solar nebula, where tiny solid particles began to collide and stick together, gradually forming larger and larger bodies through a process called accretion. These growing bodies, known as planetesimals, merged under the influence of gravity, eventually forming protoplanets. And Mars emerged from this chaotic environment as one of these early planetary embryos. Unlike Earth, which continued to grow through sustained collisions and accumulation of material, Mars appears to have formed relatively quickly and then stopped growing, becoming what scientists often describe as a stranded planetary embryo. This early cutoff in growth had profound consequences. Because Mars remained smaller, it retained less internal heat and had weaker gravity, factors that would later influence its atmosphere, geology, and long-term evolution. During its formation, Mars experienced intense heating due to constant impacts and the decay of radioactive elements, leading to the creation of a global magma ocean where much of the planet's outer layer was molten. If you like similar educational content, please like, subscribe, and share the video with your friends. As this molten material began to cool, the planet underwent differentiation. Denser elements such as iron sank toward the center to form the core, while lighter materials formed the mantle and crust. This internal structure defined how heat would be transported inside Mars and set the stage for its geological activity. At this point, Mars was not yet the dry world we know today, but a young, dynamic planet with the potential for significant atmospheric and surface evolution. After its initial formation and differentiation, Mars entered a phase of intense internal activity, where heat stored inside the planet drove widespread volcanism, and this volcanic outgassing played a crucial role in creating the first atmosphere, releasing large amounts of gases such as carbon dioxide, water vapor, and sulfur compounds into the surrounding space. This early atmosphere was significantly thicker than what exists today and acted as a thermal blanket, trapping heat and allowing surface temperatures to rise to levels where liquid water could exist, at least temporarily, on the surface. As the planet continued to cool, water vapor in the atmosphere began to condense, forming clouds and eventually precipitation, leading to the presence of rivers, lakes, and possibly even larger bodies of water. And this is supported by geological evidence such as valley networks, delta formations, and sedimentary deposits observed across the Martian surface. At the same time, Mars likely possessed a global magnetic field generated by motion within its molten core, similar in principle to Earth's magnetic dynamo, and this magnetic field served as a protective shield against the constant stream of charged particles coming from the Sun. This protection was essential because it helped preserve the atmosphere by deflecting the solar wind, allowing the planet to maintain pressure and temperature conditions suitable for liquid water over extended periods. During this era, Mars may have had a relatively stable climate system, with active geological processes, surface water cycles, and atmospheric dynamics, making it one of the most intriguing candidates in the solar system for past habitability. However, this phase did not last indefinitely, and the factors that initially supported these conditions would eventually begin to change in a way that fundamentally altered the planet's future. The decisive shift in Mars's history did not begin at the surface, but deep inside the planet, where its internal engine gradually weakened as heat escaped into space. And over time, the motion of electrically conductive material within the core slowed down to the point where the global magnetic field could no longer be sustained. As this dynamo shut down, Mars lost the large-scale magnetic shield that had previously protected its atmosphere, and with that protection gone, the planet became directly exposed to the continuous potok of charged particles from the Sun, known as the solar wind. Without a global field to deflect these particles, the upper atmosphere began to interact directly with the solar wind, leading to a process called atmospheric sputtering, where energetic particles transfer momentum to atmospheric atoms and gradually knock them into space. This was not a single catastrophic event, but a long-term erosion process that persisted over hundreds of millions to billions of years, steadily thinning the atmosphere and reducing surface pressure. As pressure dropped, the stability of liquid water was fundamentally affected. Water that once flowed across the surface could no longer remain in liquid form under the new conditions and either froze into subsurface ice or transitioned directly from solid to gas through sublimation, escaping into space. At the same time, the planet's smaller size meant it had a weaker gravitational hold on its atmosphere compared to Earth, further accelerating the loss of lighter gases. Isotopic measurements of the present atmosphere show a clear signature of this loss, with heavier isotopes remaining behind, as lighter ones escaped more easily, providing direct evidence of long-term atmospheric depletion. Modern missions such as MAVEN have confirmed that this process is still occurring today, although at a much lower rate, demonstrating that Mars continues to lose atmospheric particles even now. As the atmosphere thinned, temperatures dropped, climate systems collapsed, and the once more dynamic environment transitioned into a cold, arid state. Geological activity also declined as the planet lost internal heat, reducing volcanic outgassing that could have replenished the atmosphere. This phase represents the critical divergence in Mars' evolution, where the combination of internal cooling, magnetic field loss, and solar interaction transformed it from a potentially habitable world into the harsh environment observed today. What we observe on Mars today is a frozen record of its past, where ancient geological features have been preserved for billions of years due to the lack of active erosion processes like those on Earth, and these features provide direct evidence of how dramatically the planet has changed. One of the most striking aspects of Mars is its enormous volcanic structures, dominated by Olympus Mons, the largest volcano in the entire solar system, rising about 22 kilometers above the surrounding plains. And its immense size is possible because Mars lacks plate tectonics, meaning the crust does not move over hotspots as it does on Earth, allowing volcanoes to grow in one location for extremely long periods. Equally impressive is the vast canyon system known as Valles Marineris, which stretches for thousands of kilometers and reaches depths far greater than the Grand Canyon, and its formation is likely tied to large-scale crustal stretching and collapse, possibly influenced by nearby volcanic loading. Across the surface, there are also extensive networks of dried river valleys, delta formations, and sedimentary layers, all of which strongly indicate that liquid water once flowed across the planet, shaping its terrain in ways that are still visible today. In its current state, however, Mars has a very thin atmosphere composed mostly of carbon dioxide, with surface pressure less than 1% of Earth's, which makes stable liquid water impossible under present conditions. Temperatures are extremely low, often far below freezing, and the planet experiences significant temperature fluctuations between day and night. Water still exists, but primarily in the form of ice, concentrated at the polar caps and likely stored beneath the surface, where it is shielded from direct exposure to the harsh environment. Additionally, Mars is exposed to high levels of radiation due to the absence of a strong magnetic field and thick atmosphere, making the surface environment hostile to life as we know it. Despite these conditions, Mars remains one of the most intensively studied planets because its surface acts as a geological archive, preserving clues about its ancient climate, water activity, and potential habitability. When all stages of Mars' evolution are connected, a clear picture emerges of a planet that started with many of the same building blocks as Earth, but diverged due to a few critical differences that ultimately determined its fate. The most important factor was its size. Because Mars is significantly smaller than Earth, it lost its internal heat much faster, and this rapid cooling caused its core to become less active, eventually shutting down the magnetic dynamo that once protected the planet. Without a global magnetic field, the atmosphere became vulnerable to the solar wind, which gradually stripped it away over immense timescales, reducing surface pressure and eliminating the conditions needed to sustain liquid water. Another major factor is its distance from the Sun. Mars receives less solar energy than Earth, which means lower baseline temperatures, and once the atmosphere began to thin, there was no longer enough greenhouse effect to retain heat, leading to a runaway cooling process. With lower pressure and temperature, water could no longer remain stable on the surface, and the planet transitioned into a cold, dry environment where only ice could persist. Despite this transformation, Mars is not simply a dead planet, but rather a preserved record of planetary evolution. offering insights into how terrestrial planets develop and how delicate the balance of habitability can be. This is why missions such as Perseverance are actively exploring its surface, searching for signs of ancient microbial life, and analyzing geological samples to reconstruct its past environment. Mars is also considered the most realistic target for future human exploration and potential colonization due to its solid surface, accessible resources like water ice, and relatively moderate conditions compared to other planets. Studying Mars not only helps us understand its own history, but also provides valuable knowledge about Earth, especially about the importance of atmosphere, magnetic fields, and internal planetary dynamics in maintaining life-supporting conditions. Mars is therefore both a warning and an opportunity, showing how a planet can lose its habitability, but also offering a destination where humanity may one day extend its presence beyond Earth.